Sleepy and immense, many see him as a symbol of laziness. This is Snorlax. His chest rises and falls, and the entire woodland seems safer beside him. The sound that dominates the woodland is not a roar, but a deep, heavy snore that echoes through nature. The smaller creatures feel secure in his presence. They bring food, they feed, and they share with the giant. But it was not always this way. He did not arrive here by accident. Years earlier, he was a Munchlax, curious, restless, and endlessly hungry. At first light, he would begin his rounds in search of food, even the most bitter fruit. Alert to every opportunity, he devoured whatever fell from the canopy above. Munchlax is both a gatherer and a hoarder of food. He has a peculiar habit, storing food beneath his own fur, as if carrying a pantry attached to his body. Beyond that, he would hide portions in stumps, in crevices, and among exposed roots throughout the forest. While other Pokémon fought over territory, he avoided confrontation and searched for his next meal. For food, Munchlax could become desperate, yet he always acted at the precise moment. He memorized migration routes, fruiting cycles, and even the hour when Teddiursa walked to the river to drink. The perfect cue to claim its honey. Eating and storing were not merely impulses, they were his education. He scattered food caches throughout the forest, reserves for harsher times. At the end of each gathering, Munchlax would rest, chew slowly, and sleep. Munchlax consumes nearly his own body weight in food each day. For this reason, it is common to see him eating fruit that is rotten or covered in mold. His stomach is exceptionally robust, and his powerful digestive enzymes allow him to process even extreme foods. After feeding, it is typical to find him asleep, but do not be deceived by the softness. That round body is surprisingly flexible, making him a remarkably skillful food thief. For this reason, many Pokémon do not welcome Munchlax. When food reserves are scarce, they make certain to keep him at a distance. And yet, he does not take out of malice. Munchlax's heart is instinctively kind. One day, a wildfire swept across the southern edge of the forest. Munchlax ran, not to escape, but to help. His hidden caches of fruit became sustenance for frightened Pokémon with nowhere else to turn. Though he requires an immense amount of food each day, his kindness prevailed. Cache after cache, Munchlax fed the smallest and the weakest. As the flames weakened and green began to return, it was Munchlax who sustained the woodland when it needed him most. He did not fully understand why, but something had changed. Not through combat, but through friendship and shared happiness. Munchlax evolved. Snorlax emerged, now weighing nearly 460 kilograms. He no longer gathered food with the same agility. His enormous body demanded hours and hours of sleep. Yet the forest did not abandon him in this new chapter. Marked by all that Munchlax had done, they began bringing food to Snorlax. With his presence alone, natural predators such as Arbok and Scolipede altered their routes. In gratitude, small grass-type Pokémon, woodland mammals, and newborns carried fruits and roots to their new guardian. Snorlax rests and eats, and beside him, the forest finds rest and safety as well. Responsible for the forest, Snorlax remains aware, even in sleep. From afar, predators search for easy prey among those who dwell here, but this time, something is different. Snorlax stirs. Despite the immense sleep his body demands, in moments of urgency, he is relentless. Confronted by Snorlax, the intruder does not hesitate. It unleashes its most powerful attack. Yet years of experience and the will to protect his home have shaped Snorlax into an unyielding defender. He knows this must end quickly, before any of the small ones are harmed as collateral. Versatile and instinctive, Snorlax responds with restraint, a precise ice beam, controlled and surgical. Salamence takes super effective damage. Its entire body seems to freeze, and it gives in and retreats, understanding that these lands have a guardian. Snorlax lies down once more, as if nothing had happened. Snorlax does not seek applause. He protects. Evolved through friendship and happiness, he now gives back to the woodland, and the woodland gives back to him. What many call laziness, the woodland recognizes as balance. Once dismissed as idle, now respected as a protector, Snorlax carries a mission greater than eating or sleeping. He allows the small ones to grow safely beneath his shadow. Snorlax, the sleeping guardian. In other regions, such as Galar, Snorlax's fate unfolds differently. There, the ecosystem follows another rhythm. Local legends suggest that wherever Snorlax sleeps, plants grow stronger, as though he were part of the landscape itself. His snore reverberates beneath the soil, subtly redistributing seeds. His immense body warms the ground, awakening hibernating insects that assist in pollination and the spread of new life. The land provides him with food without requiring him to move, and so he sleeps. Even in slumber, Snorlax influences the forest like an ancient tree or a hidden spring beneath the earth. Here, the ecosystem binds itself to his destiny and becomes inseparable from him. It functions as a nursery, where Snorlax becomes the heart of an orchard. When ancient forces call upon him, an entire garden rises across his body. They call this form Gigantamax Snorlax. In this state, he creates an ecosystem of his own. He replenishes and sustains the allies who gather around him. Here, food is plentiful and peace prevails. Legend? Perhaps. Ecology? Without a doubt. Hey, one final curiosity about these giants. Legends tell that when a Snorlax falls asleep across a path, blocking the passage of travelers, there exists a particular melody capable of stirring him. In regions such as Kanto and Kalos, there are documented accounts of this phenomenon. And so, in these lands, it is wise to keep a poke flute close at hand. See you next week. Bye!